Hello, my name is Ahunike David C. I'm here to talk about entrepreneurship and how to successfully run a business in Nigeria. Firstly, what is an entrepreneurship? An entrepreneurship is the ability to start up a business, taking the risk, forecasting, looking into the future to know the outcome of a business, how profitable the business will be. That is what is called entrepreneurship. Okay, let's talk about the challenges facing entrepreneurship. Let me connect it to our country, Nigeria. Lack of capital, which you all know as fund, inability to raise funds for that particular business that you want to execute. In our country, many businesses have been buried today. Many business ideas have been buried today because of lack of money. But let me tell you, there are some other businesses that you can do without money, which is you can go and to another entrepreneur that you know that have already had a successful business. Go to him. Let me put it this way: an entrepreneur that has a very big business that sells goods, maybe bags, wigs, all these goods. You can go to them, buy from them, or you might not really buy from them. So if there is a cordial relationship between you and them, you can go tell them in a agreement they might give you goods you sell and return back. Or that's called online business. If there is no finance to start up a visual business, you can do what's called online business, coordinating people in order to buy from you while you're not really the one selling it. It sounds funny, right? Yes. You can also do importation of goods with zero fund. Yes. There are some links, although they used to learn it, but it's just something that you can learn 2 or 3 days. You are done with the training. There are some goods that you can buy from China. You are putting it on a WhatsApp status or any other social media platform for people to see it. Once they order, you order from them. You have your own percentage. When they bring it, you give it to them. That's how to be an entrepreneur with that fund. Another big challenge of entrepreneurship in Nigeria is inability to get loan from government. If it's other developed countries like Europe and America, you can actually get a loan. That's why we have many successful entrepreneurs out there. But in Nigeria, we face it very difficult to get a loan. Any company that accepts to give you a loan is on a high rate. They might give you a month before you start paying the loan, and which will be at a very big percentage. That's why in Nigeria we have challenges of getting a loan for a business. It's a very big challenge we face today in Nigeria. Another big challenge is location. Many people forget to do what we call forecasting in business. Forecasting as an entrepreneur is very, very important. What is forecasting? Forecasting is the ability to look into the future, to know how profitable that business that you have in mind will be, and where that is suitable for that particular business. You cannot take a tomato business that is meant to sell in a market and come and selling tomato in a roadside. It might still give you income, but it will not be as profitable as it will be when you put it in the right place. That's one challenge entrepreneurs face, and every entrepreneur should undergo a training. I know of a man that used to give free training. He's one of the successful entrepreneurs in Nigeria. He used to give free training on his Facebook page, Chima Group. Many of you might still know him. He used to give free training on entrepreneurship. He knows everything about business, and he also gives loan for people that want to start up a business. So why I'm bringing this man right now is for you to train yourself on entrepreneurship. You can meet him. You can meet through his Facebook page. He has a Facebook page. He's one of the successful entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Many of us know him very well. You can go through his page. You do come on live on his page. He teaches you more on entrepreneurship. Everything you need to know about business, starting up a business, setting up the investment. And let me tell you, this is an entrepreneurship. When you're starting a business newly, you don't really need big fund for that particular business because you don't know how it will be or how. So especially business that you have not done before, you shouldn't put your whole money or your whole savings in that particular business. That's what you call reinvesting in a business. What do I mean by investing in a business? Is when you can start up a business with any amount of money, little amount that can start. When you watch the business and the growth, the income and the expenses, the challenges facing the business that have already started, you know how much to reinvest in the business. If it's profitable, you invest your money. And there's some businesses that you will do. The capital you have will not be enough. That's what we have chain business. Whereby you get your friends, your family, your friends and well wishers, your family relatives, those who have the money, those who found that business you're doing interesting, they might really invest in the business. And as a businessman, you must have this convincing spirit. That's what makes a good entrepreneur. Convincing spirit, I mean being able to convince your client that your goods is the best. And one thing that kills entrepreneurs in Nigeria is greedy. I'm sorry to talk about this, but that's just the truth. Greedy. Many people, they want to sell ×2 of the product you buy. It kills your business career. It kills you as an entrepreneur. Because if I should get to find out that another entrepreneur, another businessman is selling it cheaper than the one you gave me, probably I won't come to your shop again, and I won't come to your business area again. And any other person that I'm going to, and any other person that will come through me, I will still channel the person to the other place. That's one thing that we don't know as an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is very easy and simple in Nigeria. It only requires strength. Okay. Right now, I want to talk about classes of business or classes of entrepreneurship. We have business entrepreneurs. What are business entrepreneurs? As I said before, business entrepreneurs are people who bring out their money, who invest their money into business. We call them business entrepreneurs. It might not really be into stocks, but there are some people that run. There's a business I know. If you want to go out from the country, there are some entrepreneurs that takes it as their work. They will fix up your papers, everything you need to travel out. They will fix it up, and they file you. You go with interest that you pay them 20% of your salary. They'll be the one to get a job for you, but you pay them 20% of your salary till you complete it with their interest. We call those kind of entrepreneurs business entrepreneurship. They only focus on businesses, anything business. They buy lands, they resell. They buy warehouses, they resell. That's what we call business entrepreneurs. Another class is agricultural entrepreneurs. We all know that in Nigeria, the fastest growing business in our country is agriculture. And as an entrepreneur that wants to be successful, you have to also invest your money in agriculture, which is the very simplest way of investment. Let me give you examples. Buying a 50 birds won't cost you, highest 50 birds will cost you 25,000 naira. And getting a place who all have some dilapidated houses in our homes, that we can put the birds and breed them to standard. Agriculture is one of the biggest investment an entrepreneur can invest on. There are types of businesses, investment that you can do in agriculture. Agriculture has many branches. Plantation, it gives money, it gives money. Palm plantation, it gives money. Piggery, farming, and in this our eastern part of Nigeria, we lack all these things. And as an entrepreneur who wants to be enlightened on agriculture, getting your money that you want to, instead of investing, since you don't have enough money or enough capital to invest in a big shop or to invest in a very big infrastructure that you can stock on, you can hire a tractor. Start farming in a big way. When you start yielding outcomes, you'll be baffled with what you see. Agriculture is one of the very biggest investment an entrepreneur can invest on. Another classes is industrial entrepreneurs. industrial entrepreneurs, we talk about the estate managers, people that deal on estates, lands. There are some people that take it up as their business. That one requires zero fund. The only thing you need is conviction. That's entrepreneur's pitch. I'm not telling you to go and be a motivational speaker, but train yourself on how to convince people. That's what industrial entrepreneurs need. Getting somebody to buy a land from you, which is not yours. You go and you have estates companies. You have P1 estates. Those are the lands and properties. They specialize on lands and properties. You can register with them. It's not much. 10,000 will do. Also, you be their agents. You introduce people. You convince people to buy from them. You have their own percentage from the company, and so also have their own percentage from the individual you're introducing the business to. That's called industrial entrepreneurs. In this Nigeria, there are many things as an entrepreneur to be successful that require zero fund. This industrial entrepreneurship is one of the many. I know of a friend who is also an industrial entrepreneur. He specializes. He stays in Awka, Anambra State. He started with zero fund. Like as I'm talking, the guy is a big boy. He's a big man. He has his own lands because according to their policy in P1 company, once if you do like 2 or 3 people, you have a chance of securing your own land without fund. Like every interest will be channeling on till you be able to get your own land. These are the benefits and classes of entrepreneurs. But in all these things, you can't say the good without saying the bad. They also have challenges. One, the country we are in. The government is not really helping. Matter is not really helping us. That is why many people are channeling into entrepreneurship, which is very good. Okay. The biggest challenges in starting up a business in Nigeria is lack of demand. When you start up a business without proper planning, you face this challenge, lack of demand. When you don't know what is actually needed in that particular area you're starting up that business, or because Obi started a rearing business, Obi started a mechanic business, you want to do that with because Obi is your friend. It doesn't work like that. First of all, plan. Check what is really going where you are. The environment, what is moving in the environment you are. Your own business, you really need to forecast. This thing all falls. Everything I'm saying here still falls on forecasting. Planning. Forecasting, another word for forecasting is planning. Planning. Check asking questions to see if this particular business you have in mind is able or will be able to move in that particular environment. These are the challenges entrepreneurs face in business. Another one is availability of funds. There are some business that shouldn't start with 500,000 naira. There are some business that should start with 1 million. Every business have its range of finance. You cannot start an eatery business with 500,000 naira unless you want to do it at all these low-key eateries. You cannot start a big eatery business with 500,000 naira and expect it to yield 500,000 in returns. It's not possible. It doesn't. Entrepreneurship doesn't work like that. So you check the money you have at hand. You plan and check the business that particular money will be able to establish. Because you have 500,000 and you want to start a business of 1 million and expect it to see you return, it's not going to work like that. That's all planning, getting the particular business, plan it in details before executing it. That's one of the mistakes entrepreneurs make. Another big mistake entrepreneurs make is trusting on the wrong people. It happens to me when I started businesses newly. I had a branch somewhere. Because of my busy schedules, I wasn't able to be going there, be checking on the person I put in that business. That business keep depreciating. But as an entrepreneur, as I realized that my business at this branch is depreciating, I had to run back to the root and start afresh. I trusted the wrong person by entrusting that business to her. So this is one of the biggest challenges we face, because as an entrepreneur you might be busy with other businesses, but what makes an entrepreneur is being able to enroll yourself in many businesses. An entrepreneur shouldn't have a business. As a successful entrepreneur, you shouldn't specialize in one business. You should be able to see opportunities and turn it into business. That is what makes a successful entrepreneur. So when you trust a wrong person, and many entrepreneurs today are very lazy to check on their business on a daily basis. You can't have a business that you put your money, that you invest your money, and you entrust it on somebody without checking on the person. One day, something must tell the person to, you have challenges, take from here is where you work, take it, maybe later you pay back. What are the person? The person didn't pay back. You started running losses. So as a successful entrepreneur, or entrepreneur who wants to be successful, you have to be checking on your businesses on a daily basis. Another challenges entrepreneurs face is leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is art of executing authority over people that are following you, directing them on the right path. Leadership does not mean opposing, although many a times force is required as a leader. So this is the challenges entrepreneurs face. You cannot be able to lead people that are under you, or cannot be able to choose a good leader, a good manager that will manage your business. You have challenges in your business. Leadership, a skillful leader plays a good role to a successful business, whereby getting a business, because every business in Nigeria have its own trend time where the business is on board. A business that is trending, being able to know the actual time a business is trending and telling the CEO or the founder or the entrepreneur that, see, look at the particular business that is trending now, and invest, and be able to invest on that particular business. So when you are starting up a new business which you know you're not the one managing as an entrepreneur, try and get a good leader who can be able to lead others right on actualizing one goal, which is your profit. In every business, your aim should be profit. What you make in a minimum of 1 month, minimum of 2 months, what you could be able to make in a particular business. In conclusion, I know, because entrepreneurship is a very big scale, it's a very big scale study that I cannot enlighten you more on. But I believe that with my few points, you can be able to get 1 or 2 things that will guide you as a successful businessman. So there are other links, there are other pages, other successful entrepreneurs. Like I made mention of Chimak Group. He's a very popular entrepreneur. You can go to his Facebook page, follow him up, search through his pages. I know you'll still be able to learn 1 or 2. And don't forget, the difference between here and there is time. Make use of your time. And don't procrastinate. Procrastination kills a businessman. Nothing kills faster than procrastination. I'll start up tomorrow. I'll start up next week. Start now. Time wait for nobody. I'm still Awadike David C, a student of building technology. I want to talk about building. Firstly, let's start. What is building? Building is an enclosed structure that consists of walling, roofing, and other components that makes it habitable for human lives and properties. What are the functional requirements of a building? 1. Stability. What is stability? Stability is the strength of a building. For you to construct a building, construct it in a way that it will resist waves, erosions, and other defects in a building. Another functional requirement is durability. What is durability? Durability is the ability to last long. In constructing a building, you must construct it in a way that it will be able to last long. What are the ways of constructing a building in a way to last long? Checking the topography of the land you want to construct on, checking the design made by the architect to see if what is on the paper will be suitable for the particular land mapped out for the building. Another functional requirement is heat resistance. A building should be constructed in a way that it should be able to resist heat and to adapt in every atmospheric changes so that it will be comfortable for the occupants in that building. Another functional requirement is water resistance. This is where the builders come in, because places like Europe and America that they construct building with woods, dampness is the worst defect over there, because dampness will erode the woods that was used for the beams, columns of the building, which will cause the building to collapse. Let me come down here in our country. Dampness has a very bad effect on the building. Start from the rendering of the building to the bedlocks of the building, down to the properties in the building. Dampness plays a very bad role. It first peels off the paints before getting to the rendering, which we know as plasters, and touching the bedlocks of the building, which can cause collapse of a building. So these are the functional requirements. These are the things that you needed to execute before you can get a standard building. Another thing is fire resistance. Being able to construct a building in a way that it will be able to resist fire. You know, in Nigeria we are opportune that we don't experience fire outbreaks more often in residential buildings, but we have heard stories of fire outbursts in our buildings. A building should be constructed in a way that it will resist fire. How do I mean by constructing a building in a way that it resists fire? There's a way you render walls. There's a way you construct your building. It will not be able to, even when there's fire outburst, it will not be able to catch up to some extent in the building. Now let me go to how to construct a building. First of all, start off by site planning. Site layout planning. What's site layout planning? Site layout planning is the checking planning, forecasting of the site that you want to build, to check if the particular land is suitable for the particular building to be erected on, to check if there is access, to check where the materials will be packed, to check to get the suitable contractor or a builder that will handle the project, the access road, bringing the materials, we have to keep the materials. These are all site layout planning. And we have to position the building. After you done this, you now start up with site clearing. Site clearing can take 1 or 2 days to clear a plot or 2 plots of land. You can get those manual laborers, which will start up by clearing your site, and if there are, because we have challenges in clearing of sites, which maybe there is a particular place, the particular place chosen for the building, there is a big tree situated in that particular place. That's where we have challenges as builders. So you need to call excavators that will pull it off and push down to the empty space, what we call the setback in building. Like this, the setback is the distance between where the building is stopped, where the building is mapped out, and the other spaces of your land. That's what we call the setback. Be able to pack things that are excavated to the actual place. After site clearing, you now do excavation. Before you do excavation for a particular building, check the topography of the land. Check the type of foundation the land requires. If it's step foundation, power foundation, or pitch foundation. In our lands here, we normally use step foundation because there are some lands that the topography is not straight. Whereby you use step foundation so you can be able to get it in the same level before you start off your building. For the excavation, you now start the casting of the trench, whereby mixing aggregates. So you don't do the casting by aggregate, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate with water, mix them together and pour to the trench. After the casting, we'll now do setting out. We have types of setting out. We have 3, 4, 5 methods of setting out, and we'll have builder's method. But builder's method of setting out is the easiest way of setting out because it just requires the trigonometry, thereby getting the areas before setting out. 10. After setting out, you start your walling. The first stage after the walling is DPC. When you get to DPC, you fill it and you cast it. You cast the German floor, and always remember to put a damp-proof membrane before casting your German floor so that it can be able to resist vegetable growth to the building. After casting your German floor, now partition wallings and the real wallings begins. You start walling according to the architectural designs. You start your walling, partition it the way it is portrayed in the plan. When you start walling, you get to door level, you map out the doors, you get to window levels. Remember to also put your column base so that your building will be durable. Because you start from the foundation and start identifying column base right from the foundation. What is column base? Are those things that will help in carrying out the dead loads to the subsoil, to the soil. You map out your column base. After mapping out your column base, you start walling. After walling to some extent, you cast your column base. Then when window level, you map out your window level, you wall to lintel. After walling to lintel, you now do what we call, you now cast your lintel whereby beams and columns, you cast them through. If it's a bungalow, you add 2 or 3 blocks according to the test of your client. Add 2 or 3 blocks before roofing, just after linteling. If it's upstairs, you now buy called the iron benders that will construct the deck beams. We have in deck beams whereby you project your cantilever to be able to get a bigger space up, or anyhow it's been portrayed. Anyhow it's been portrayed, you carry it down. But I want to talk about the bungalow now. After your linteling, you now call the carpenter for roofing. What is a roof? A roof is an enclosed structure that covers the building and protects the occupants from atmospheric changes and other things. And we have roofing sheets that you can use in your roofing. We have aluminium zinc, we have short span, we have aluminium zinc, we have metro ties, we have step ties, we have all these types. So the particular sheet that we use, roofing sheet that will be used for that building, will be selected by the client or by the contractor, so it can be able to serve the purpose why it's being used. After roofing, you now do what's called the building services. The building services, which requires the locomotive, the running in and out of the water, like plumbing, electrics, and other services needed in the building. That's what's called the building services. You now conduct the building services in the building. Then before rendering and putting other acoustic materials like windows, doors, curtains, and so on, is gathered as acoustic material. I'm still Enrique David C. I want to talk about social media and networking. First of all, what is social media? Social media is a website or application that enables users to share content and interact or networking. Types of social media: we have Facebook, so social media. We have WhatsApp, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. These are applications where you can interact with people. You can share contacts, share aids, promote your business, and have a live video with people. That's one of the purpose of social media. Okay, let me talk about the advantages of social media. Firstly, social media helps us in various ways. First, it helps you to reach your friends and well wishers, those people far and near. Social media helps us to interact with our friends over the country, outside the country. Social media also helps us in showing our skills to other people, selling of goods and services, advertisements, what we know how to do best, the skills we learn. We can show it on social media and people get or connect us to come and do it for them. That's one of the advantages of social media. Secondly, for promotion. Social media stands as a promoting platform, as the best promoting platform so far. Most advertisements are not done orally or by flyers again. They do it on social media, and social media helps you to run ads by promoting it to people that you cannot reach. That's social media for you. It has a very good role in our community at large. Without social media, I don't think our country will move forward the way it is now. There are many advantages of social media. It helps you to go on live video, thereby teaching people on businesses, teaching people on skills, teaching people on one or two things that you know best. That's the advantages of social media. Then, let me talk about disadvantage, because you cannot have advantage without disadvantage. Social media still have a disadvantage in our lives. And especially when it becomes an addiction. Social media can also be an addiction for you. Once social media becomes an addiction to you, you have a very problem. You won't concentrate any longer. When you wake up in the morning, you check your social media, you check your Facebook notification, see who commented last, to see who is following you up, to see who likes your pictures, and once it becomes an addiction, the only thing that will be on your mind is where and how to get the contents, how to create contents, how to create posts that will please people that are following you. Social media as an addiction plays a very bad role in our lives. We have heard stories of people that social media killed. At least when you're walking on the road, you're pressing your phone, chatting with people, making voice calls and video calls on the road, it leads to accidents, whereby people losing their lives. That's one of the big disadvantages of social media. Another big disadvantages of social media, it exposes us to hurt. And most businessmen today have taken social media as the best way of reaching people. So on social media, we don't know who is real and who is not real. Many people have been frauded through social media. Many people have been sent to their early grave through social media, whereby people, intruders, taking their wealth, taking their properties, in a way that, or convincing them that they're going to compensate them with. We've heard of stories like that. That's one of the disadvantages. It exposes us to hurt. This is one of the disadvantages of social media. Another disadvantages is exposing us to some dreadful pictures and videos. Social media teaches faster than teachers in schools today, both the good and the bad. You cannot scroll through your newsfeed without seeing some dreadful pictures. And as kids that are growing, teenagers, those things have seeds in them more than what they are being taught in school. These are the advantages of social media. Another advantage of social media is that you can also receive bad or negative feedback when you add your businesses, or when you post your business for people to see. People that have bad views on that business, or that must have been scammed by another person without your business or type of that business you are doing, can still, that they have the opportunity to still write down on the comment box that see I have been scammed through this kind of thing before, and which may scare our customers away. So social media these are the disadvantages of social media. Another big disadvantage of social media is emotional, especially when you get addicted to it. It has mental issues. mental issues, I mean your eye, because scientists has proven that the more your choroid is concentrated to a screen, thereby reflecting directly to your eye, it has some defects on your choroid. So these are the disadvantages of social media. But I must say that the advantage is far much better than the disadvantages, because the advantages helps us in especially showing our brands, what we are made of, our businesses. Social media has placed many people where they are today. That's the advantages of social media. So we cannot, because of disadvantages, and will not appreciate or will not acknowledge its advantages, because advantages has also done good despite the harm that is also causing us. Thereby, it helps us to have interaction directly with friends, directly with people that we are doing business with. I can stay here in Nigeria and interact with somebody that is in Canada, and interact with somebody that is in Australia with just a lesser data, and you can join social media for free. It doesn't require any specific amount of money. Social media can be joined for free, thereby giving you the audience, giving you the ability for people to hear you out, for people to stream through your details, through your profile, know what you're made up of, the content you are showing to people, because people have the ability, like it's their right to view both the good and the bad on their social media. It's what they subscribe for. So these are the advantages of social media, and also the disadvantages of social media. Let me use social media. Social media as an advantage helps in broadcasts. Like many people now, we don't go buying newspapers again, we don't go buying flyers again, magazines to read what's happening. Anything that we want to know now is through social media, through networking. We'll log in, we'll read news, check things, we'll come back. And the disadvantages of all these things also, it has already pulled out people who are using newspapers for food. It has shifted them from making their own money, because there are some people that also makes money from those newspapers. That's disadvantage of it too. So another advantage of social media is social media helps us in connecting with agents, and those that are in network trading, those are in Bitcoin. Social media helps us to connect more people, to share experiences of that particular trading that you want to. Like people that are doing Bitcoin, Ethereum. There are some platform created. It's a social media platform created for people who are into trading. Like, you can come there, share your experience, another person will learn from your experience. These are the advantages of social media, because without it, people will be daft. People will not be able to learn new things every day. There's no day you log in your social media you're not learning a new thing. It's not possible. So these are the major advantages of social media. So my advice to my viewers is that you should be able to make use of your social media. You have the right to neglect the bad, because they must surely come up. Make use of your social media, because it really has a very big role in making you who you want to be tomorrow. Thank you very much. Okay, I want to talk about education. Firstly, what is education? Education is the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction in an institution or university. And there are basic steps of education. When you talk of steps, you start from grade 1. That's the one we call pre-nursery. There are some people that do start with crèche, but crèche is not really education, because it's where people take care of your kids in your absence. So we don't actually grade that as education. But where we start pinpointing education is from pre-nursery. Where your kid is a year, 1 year to 2 years, you can enroll that particular kid to pre-nursery, whereby they will be teaching them the fundamental elements of education, starting from A, B, C, D to Z, 1, 2 to 10, and rhythms, play. They will teach them play, whereby enlightening them, trying to make their brain to be vibrant, to be active, so that they can be able to pick up when they reach to the next level. So once a child graduated from the nursery, he now enter nursery school. A child is expected to be in nursery school for 3 years. Whereby from that 3 years of pre-nursery to 6 years, you can be able to enter primary 1. So that pre-nursery is where you teach them on how to be bold, how to be audible, to talk to stand audience, how to be audible, to read, to interact with people, to the fundamental mathematics, 1 plus 2 plus 3, all those mathematics, the alphabet, making a sentence with knowing 2-letter words, 3-letter words, 4-letter words is to some extent enhancing their brain towards the next level. A good school, let me mention of ShopRite. My niece is studying at ShopRite. By September, she will be in primary 1. She can read fluently, she can read very well because they have already prepared her to the next level, which is primary 1. After you are done with that, you enter primary 1. Then now enter primary school. So primary 1, they start teaching you the basis of life. They start introducing CRK, social studies, handwriting, English, mathematics, and other social subjects. They start introducing to the child. The child will now be able to make a good sentence with big words, be able to read, be able to write, be able to interact, be able to solve questions in mathematics from primary 1, primary 2. As you are graduating to primary 4, to primary 5, to primary 6, they're also teaching you some basics according to your level in education. Education is very good in our kids. And the challenges that we faced from pre-nursery to primary 6 is in education is promoting your child when you know that your child should not be promoted or shouldn't be promoted. There are some kids who are low in IQ, so they need special classes at home. They need to be enrolled on special classes. Teachers need to come after school and teach them so that they can be able to meet up with the smart ones. So let me tell you, every kid is special on his own way. Everybody can be an erudite. Everybody cannot be a professor. But being able to identify your kid's problem during the primary school level will help that kid to project during the secondary school level. There are some students who are not smart during their primary schools, but they do perfectly well on the secondaries. That's identifying the problem before the problem identifies you. Let me continue. And the challenges our parents face in education is finance. Everything in this life still kicks on finance. There's a say that one of a highly reputable governor said that if you don't have money, you won't go to school. That's a pure lie. But looking at how things are moving now, you see that what he said is kind of truth. But we can't kill ourselves. We also fit in. We also cut our code according to our size. Java schools, yeah, despite their learning schedules and everything are not the same. But the major thing is education. Whether private school or secondary school, all of us must still get almost all of us, we are aiming for one place, which is inside university. Whether you go to private school or go to government school, we are still going to meet at the same university. So wherever your money reach, don't kill yourself. Enroll your kid. When your kids come back, teach that your kid what he or she needs to know. Teachers are not God. They will do where their friend leads them. So it's advice for parents to also teach their kids when they come back. So after the primary school level, your children, your kids, or the child must have been enlightened more, because them getting to university, it will be like a new world to them. I can remember when I entered just one newly, so just like a new world, to seeing seniors, seeing uncles, big aunties ahead of me, and I was just so shy and naive to face them. But these are the things that you teach them during their primary school level, that they'll be able to adapt when they get there. So this is your GS1, you'll be introduced a new topics. Then we see topics like intro tech, subjects like intro tech, subjects like fine arts, subjects like basic science, another subject in your junior secondary school. It sounds new, but they also rigmarole in what you are being taught in primary school. It only requires concentration and focus to get there. So in your just one, what you need to concentrate, because the mathematics has stepped up. It's no longer the unit and times you do in primary school. It's now entered into simplification, multiplications, and addition. Although I know that some schools used to introduce board maths during primary school, but by using board maths to solve simplifications, getting to x raised to power 2, or that kind of things, trying to trigonometries, at least the tender trigonometries, you'll be able to see them in secondary school. It might sound too big for you, but my dear, it's still the same thing, just a little difference. Just get the formula, you get there. That's one of the keys in education. Mathematics is the same thing from primary school to tertiary institutions, just that a little additions, nothing much. So from your junior secondary school, you pass some challenges too, because that junior secondary school, many kids, they find it too difficult to adapt because it's a new environment for them. But with the help of the parents, guidance, the elderly ones around them, will be able to pull them through. Those kids, the education is not about going to school, it's acquiring knowledge. You can just teach them at home. Just equip them to what they will see in future, so that when they will see it will not get them down, it will not weigh them down. They will be able to resist, they will be able to persist every pressure that will come from it. It's called education. It's acquiring skills. It mustn't be their teacher. Their teacher also undergo to another person. So you, as the parents that have gone far from that level, should also train your child at home. So when you get to just 2, you must have gotten used to the environment. You will face more challenges other than your read, write, study, write exams and pass. Just 3, you take what you call what do they call it? Just 3, there is an entrance exam you write before going to SS1. So when you write it, it will equip you towards next level, which is senior secondary school. The exam is taken by some examination boards. They will bring the papers you write. Is what you have gone through from JS1 to JS3 is what you write at that exam. So it will equip you towards the senior secondary school. So when you got to senior secondary school, it seems like another big board, another big wahala, but you still get through. How about introduce some big courses like physics, like chemistry, and other courses that will be introduced. You see biology. When you see chemistry, the calculations. So start with the fundamental units. Start with scalar quantities, speed and time in physics. In chemistry, you start going through titration and other things. It will be as if the whole world was to crash on your head. But my dear, it's still the same thing. You can still get through. Just read. What you need to know is just to read, write, know how to get the ones you don't know. Listen when the teachers are teaching you. The ones you don't know, you ask questions. You will get there. If I can pass through all those stages, I'm assured that you still get there. Just when the teacher is teaching, try to ask questions. And from SS1, there are some good schools will introduce further mathematics. Whereby you see matrix, calculus, and other things. You can still, it's very simple. Just the formula and the calculations you get there. So SS1 used to be like a new world, and that time used to get some students, used to push them from the steps. Because by introducing laws of this one, laws, pressure laws, all these things, it will just be sounding new. But just constant reading and constant practice makes you perfect. You get to SS2. It's SS2, they'll start equipping you on how to write your SSCE, which is your senior school level certificate examination, your SSCE, which is called popularly known as WAEC. From SS2, they'll start equipping you on how to write the exam. They start teaching you the steps, the process of writing the exam, the questions, using the curriculum, using the past questions, and teaching you the rightful ways on how to write the exams. When you get to SS3, you start registering for your SSCE, writing your preparing for your WAEC, going for lectures. So from SS3, I advise every student watching me to go back from SS1, pick up points of footwear from SS1, what they taught you, from speed, walks, velocity, acceleration. From there, you start picking points to SS2. They'll be teaching you pressure law, Newton's laws, Ohm's laws. From there, the titration on chemistry and everything, your biology, your parts of the body, phalanges, your pelvic girdle, pectoral girdles, all those things, you start learning them very well in details towards preparing for your WAEC. And there are some students that always register JAMB when writing WAEC. It's very good. It makes you vast, make you test your ability, being able to see if you can be able to get to see the score you get and what's up preparing for WAEC. It's also good. It's advisable. I also advise people to do that, because as you're preparing, because what you write in your WAEC is something you see in JAMB. So as you're reading for WAEC, you're still reading for the JAMB, because it's still just the same thing. So some smart students, they write WAEC and still write JAMB. Many of them do pass. So when they pass, they now get to the university level. This is where there's a big challenge. Your kid of yesterday that is in primary school is now in university. As a parent now, let me talk to the parents. As a parent now, this is where you come in fully. This is where you have to equip. See, let me tell you, it's not everything that the teacher will teach your kids. You as a parent now, you have much role to play here. There are so many of our parents, they do like sense. Like, let me use my mom as an example. My mom cannot even discuss anything when I entered higher institution. My mom, they don't discuss anything. Although I passed through secondary school now, I met friends now, so I already knew all those things. But in my parents, I still appeared innocent. I'm not saying that I spoiled, but I'm still appearing innocent for my parents. But there are some things that they needed to tell me, they didn't tell me, which I learned myself. So these are the mistakes some parents do in equipping their children towards education. Educate your, give them that, teach them. That's what God says, education. Teach them what they need to know before they enter higher institution. If not, other people will teach them for you. Educate them on sex. Tell them that once you have started seeing your period, there's every possibility for you to get pregnant. Tell them things they need to know about their health. Tell boys things they need to know before getting. It's only one of my auntie that time who's a nurse. He told me that if you climb a woman without protection, there's every tendency you get infection and you get pregnant. And we know what it means then. So only that fear kept me through in my education, in my second university days. Only that fear of getting infection, getting HIV. She was telling me, come and check. 20% of students, because she used to work in a medical branch in our school, 20% of students that got admission this year, see they have HIV, and you don't know them. It's not written on their faces. Only that education that she gave me at home prepared me. Like, the fear only kept me through my university days. So these are the things you should teach your kids before they enter into university. So when they enter into university, it's not a big word. That's where we lose many of our kids, and we also the smart ones will also scare through. Losing many of kids is peer pressure. Something that you should tell them. There are some parents that when your kids is still with you at home, you don't give them time to socialize with people. You always anti-mommy spiritual. You always over spiritual. Always praying with them. You don't give them to associate with people, to mingle with friends, to see things. You don't even take them out. So when they go to school, a boy offers to take her out, to promise her things that you parents couldn't show to that kids. The kid will definitely go astray. There are some things that prayer doesn't do. Education does. Teach your kids, show them things, so when they get there, they won't deviate. That higher institution that they are first year, many of them, it will be like they are now on top of the world. Like they have gotten there, they have reached where they want to. The parents are not there, relatives are not there, guardians are not there. They are there to take their decision. They are there to direct their own path where they follow. They are there to plan their selves, what they eat and everything. You have failed. So you are failed as a parent to educate them before them getting there. They will not have to educate themselves, or friends and peer pressures will not educate them for you. That is why education starts from you, the parents, before the teachers. The only thing a lecturer will do is to educate that kid on that particular course, that the student came to, that the student is offering. That's the only thing the lecturer does. He doesn't have time to start it. It only takes a good lecturer to start telling you the mist of this life, the mist and miles of time we are into now. It still takes a good lecturer. All these over serious students, lecturers, they will only teach you the basics, and that your year one will be also things that you learn in secondary school. The physics, but they'll not be people that are doing physics 101 and all those kind of things. They'll be teaching you the fundamental things on that course that you entered. So if your parents fail to equip your kids or the kids towards that tertiary level, it's going to be very hard. It only takes God to secure that kid for you. So when the kids get to the education, to the university levels, kids are exposed to friends, supposed to go to classes in the morning, come back late hours, around 4 or 5, going to there's some activities, friends, lodgements, bunkmen, all those things. Yeah, other people, everybody is where you see the good and the bad, where you see possessed people. So you don't know, you are not there. The parents are not there to choose the friends your kids will make in the university. They have every decision for them on themselves. So, but if you fail to tell them, to build that fear of God in them, to teach them everything they need to know before they get there, once a boy will come and convince your female kids, and they will deviate. So these are the challenges they face in universities. Let me talk about the advantages. When you get to universities, it's assumed that you've arrived. It's assumed that you have arrived towards your goal in life, towards the course that you're offering. You see, when I can remember when I got admission, I started answering engineer. Though I haven't learned even the fundamental ethics of building, but I started answering engineer because of the joy that at least you've finally gotten, taking a step to your dream. But the advantages is you enroll with other students, you interact with other students, you learn new behaviors, activities in the school. You see people with different characters. You see students, because in departments, during my days were about 105 or so. So all 105, they will not be the same. You know, the kind of friends you choose. You know, in school that time we have there are some groups. This one are the brilliant ones. This one they try. This one are the dollars. This one are low class. This one are slave boy, slave mama, that kind of thing. So you know, it's you. Your parents will not come and determine the kind of friends you choose. You choose your friends by yourself. You don't know the kind of groups. You know me. I created my own group. So we moved on with our own group. So I was able to make my decision of choosing the kind of friends I met during my school days because of the kind of education my parents gave me before entering school. All those words that you think that it doesn't matter, they matters a lot. You remember where you're coming from, it matters a lot during those in school. I can remember when I was almost forced to enter to join the courtesan. But because of what my mom used to tell me, remember your background, remember where you're coming from. It's education. It guides me through. It makes me know that, see, I'm coming from somewhere and I won't fail them. So when you now pass for your year one, so doing assignments and other things, trying to fruit things yourself. Year 2, year 3, you start they are exposing you more on the course. For people that are doing 4 years course, you do your defense, write your final exam, you graduate. Education doesn't stop there. Even after your university days, education doesn't stop there. You go for service. Service, when you serve, it's enrolled. When you serve, you're now in Nigeria. You are now a grown up. You're now adult. So you should now fetch for yourself. But many lucky ones that their parents have already secured business will come back and they enter into business, or some will travel out, some will engage themselves into activities. But those that wasn't born with a golden spoon also fight. And many people After their service, many people will go for masters. It's another high level of education. Masters is getting more advanced, getting more certificate to what you read, what you studied in school. After your masters is about a year and 6 months or thereabout. After masters, education still doesn't end there. You go for your PhD. PhD is now a higher level of education in that particular course. That's why after a PhD, you are now a doctorate degree. You're now seen as an educationist. Like in Nigeria, is the limit that you can go. But other places, there are some other certificates you can get. I know of a man who have up to 4 masters degrees, doing his PhD right now. So now education doesn't stop. The education in every day you keep learning. Education keeps coming up every day in our lives. It helps. Education is many people used to say that education is not a key to life. Education is a scam. But my dear, an illiterate has just a little space of making it in life. But someone like educated has a higher space, has the higher opportunities of making it in life. Let me tell you, yeah, money is good. Everybody, we are educated and non-educated. All our purpose is to make this money. But making it to, you see, if you check, it's all these mainly all these uneducated people that are into all this frosting and other illegal activities. Because if you quit and you have focus of what you came to school to do, you are focused about life, about your aim, which you have passion for. I'm passionate to be an engineer, a building engineer. So, and I know what I should be is enrolling myself more so I can get to the top of my profession. But if you're not educated, you start looking for other means of making money. That's where you start going for native doctors. That's why you start doing other illegal activities to make money. But when you have passion for your aim in life, you will get there. Education is the key to life. Education is the key to life. Thank you very much.